Brings credibility to us, huh? This is vintage, guys. Come on in. Vintage. Where are you? Where are you? Huh? What's going on, YouTube world? IRP 244. NFL preview. Lucky enough to have Brad on the Tuesday night instead of us trying. I know we've had on Thursday nights before, on Wednesday nights. Whenever we can get you in on here, that's what we like to do because we've always said you have the most knowledge amongst the community members, especially the vintage baseball collectors. So getting you on, especially before the season starts, that's always paramount for us. It's sort of one of our usual, can chalk it up on the calendar, like sometime here, NFL preview. Brad's going to be NFL draft. Brad's going to be on. Other 50 weeks, 49, because last week we weren't on. It's going to be me rambling and swearing this morning or something else. So, Michael is here as well. Steve. I'm Dave. So, IRP 244, as I said, NFL preview. Interesting goings-ons, like leading up to like cut down day, and you don't see a lot of big trades as the season's like progressing towards the actual season. The preseason's end, regular season begins. Because I didn't find out about most things until I don't know if it was. I think it might have been Saturday. We watched Tristan and I watched the Initials, which is on a K-fan out of Minneapolis, the sports radio, and I know in the back it said Parsons traded, and I was like, well, what?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm like, okay, what'd you get? And then I saw Kenny Clark, so I'm like, okay, Packers and 2 firsts. And I was like, and? So,
Nice
Jerry
one,
Jones.
Didn't
So
want to
Jerry
interrupt
Jones-
the flow, so I just put it in there.
Oh, that's okay. You can. I usually interrupt myself as the thoughts tumble down like an avalanche. So I'm the car trying to dodge the rocks and the boulders. So he fleeced the Vikings in 89 or 90 for Herschel Walker, maybe 88, and then he absolutely gets taken for a ride here. And I know a lot of people, even Michael's, were messaging, and it's like, even with the big contract, it still seems like a very underwhelming return for a top 2 edge in the absolute prime of his career. For, as he mentioned to me, basically a 10-year D tackle. And I think 9 is this Kenny Clark. And 2 firsts, where again, Green Bay hasn't picked in top 5, top 7 for how many years?
Right.
09, BJ Raji, pick 7.
So, and then then you sort of have that, and boom, you're back to good. So you're picking usually mid to late teens, and then in the 20s. So it's like 2 picks in the 20s and Kenny Clark for Michael Parsons.
Yeah, this
Any
is a classic situation of if you'd have done this in April, you would have got 3 firsts, Kenny Clark, and something else.
Yeah, and one of those picks would have been during that draft you'd
Right,
gotten him this year.
exactly. So a little more spread out, or you get a young guy you want from the Packers. Either or, you would have got another big asset other than what you got.
I thought I thought there were going to be at least 2 players, and it was going to be Dobbs and Kenny, and maybe Quay Walker. I thought those guys and first-round picks, multiple first-round picks. And whenever I saw the package, what it was, I'm like, well, I can live with that.
Yeah.
And I know the money is absolutely astronomical. But the Packers never do this.
Right.
So,
That's the thing.
You know what? If it bites us in the ass, it bites us in the ass. They've never done it. Just, they finally went for it. Rodgers is fucking angry. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, they denied Favre, Randy Moss, and Tony Gonzalez. And they never did anything for Rodgers. They could have had Justin Jefferson. They could have made that happen. Nah, we want Jordan Love. And I like Love. I hope he's great. I haven't seen it yet.
No.
It better come pretty quick. There's no excuses now.
No.
Yeah, I think Dallas finally realized it didn't matter what you were paying him; he wasn't signing there.
Yeah.
And it kind of happened now on a much smaller scale, but David Montgomery with the Bears. Everybody's like, why would the Bears just let him go? It got to the point where he was never signing there again.
Yeah.
You know, so once that happens, you lose leverage. And now there's only 4 teams that could have even made this trade, like cap space wise at this point in time. So, I mean, honestly, I think they did pretty well considering how late in the year it was. It's just so dumb that you didn't read the situation properly in April because, to my knowledge, nothing really changed. So
No, they never discussed anything again.
Right. And Jerry is a little different where the owner just talks with the player and says, you know what, how about $40 million?
Yeah.
You know, he's one of the few that does that without their agent present. And it reportedly always drives agents nuts that he does this. But he actually, most of the players like him. You know, that's what people don't realize. Most of the players respect and like him. But, yeah, this one backfired on him. And
Well, part of that's because he jaw-jacked too much about stuff.
that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. They both have the same problem. A current player should never have a podcast. I mean, that's a nightmare. You're going to say so much dumb shit over the course of 52 weeks just to fill space or anything that was in your head at the time. It's one thing to do a 20-minute piece with Pat McAfee or, you know, whoever each week.
Yeah.
When you're doing your own podcast a couple times a week or whatever, that's a nightmare. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. But, yeah, they both have the same exact problem. So you just saw everything out there. And it was just,
Yeah, once Jerry made up his mind that he was not going to re-sign him, he just started saying everything.
yes, right. That's when you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was only ever going to go one way. I just can't believe it was the Packers who actually did it, even though that was all the talk. I'm like, yeah, but it's going to be another team, and we're going to hear Green Bay was close second.
Yeah.
Because that's how it always is on these big guys. So when it actually happened, I was actually driving home, and my phone went off. And then it went off again. It was 2 dings real quick back to back, and I opened it up, and it was Grant saying, fuck the Packers. And the second one was worst case scenario. So then I knew. I was like, oh, man.
So, yeah, I just love the fact they didn't throw Rashawn Gary in the deal. I think I told Michael this, because then that would have almost eliminated your true benefit of Micah Parsons.
Absolutely. That would have been a half step backwards. You would have had a better player on the outside, but you still don't have a complimentary piece,
Right.
Because Van Ness was an absolutely ridiculous first round pick. He wasn't even a starter in college.
Right.
That's what blows my mind. And I'm a Hawkeyes fan. I like Van Ness. He had no business being pick number 1. And as you can see, we're this 3 or 4 years into it, and he's not good.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So Kenny Clark finally dipped last season too.
he did.
So, and it makes sense. You're 30, and he's an old 30.
He
was
he'll be
drafted at
30 years
20.
old. I think he turns 30 in like November or something. But
So,
yeah, when they drafted him, he was 20.
right.
He's 20 years old out of UCLA.
Still a good guy to have. Like Dallas is still getting a decent player,
For sure.
but the money doesn't equate to performance. Probably.
Yeah. Well, they essentially get him for 2 years and $22 million. They only got to give him $2 million this year and $20 million next year that isn't guaranteed. So they got Kenny really cheap, and he's a really good player, especially at that price.
Yeah,
and he's a great locker room guy. I mean, he's going to be very well respected in there. But
now the only concern is now your 2 top defensive tackles of last year are gone.
Yeah.
That's a question mark. I mean, these
sure.
players behind them are not like, oh yeah, no problem. They'll right in there. So
no, yeah,
that's a little bit.
No, there's still concerns. It's just now we have an actual pass rush, which should help some of the ugly.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if because it's going to be Devontae Wyatt is going to be on the interior there, and we'll see if. I don't know.
Gilbert Brown's coming back.
Unfortunately, Gilbert Brown's tiny now. he's half the man he was.
Well, good.
No, he actually looks really good. He's good and healthy. He does tons of signings in Green Bay.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ed, because that's what I was thinking. Trevor Lawrence has played one good half season in 4 years. He was great one half year. So he's got weapons. He actually has a decent offensive line. He has 3 decent backs. I mean, if not now, yeah, at some point you're just going to be like, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
So, yes, definitely I would answer your question. It's for sure a make or break year.
So who else do you think? Okay, I brought that up. Trevor Lawrence, make or break year. Anybody else jump off the page that needs to do something, shit or get off the pot, or just fucking? There needs to be a parting of ways. So like sort of like the Justin Fields Bears thing. It's like you just go your separate way. You're not going to work here. We know you have talent. We just don't. We can't wait, and we got Caleb. So, or we're going to get Caleb Williams. So, go on to wherever, go to Pittsburgh and go there and then go to the Jets. But something like that where it's just like, okay, it hasn't worked. You keep trotting it out. Guess what? It's not going to work. Something's going to break.
You know,
anybody on that?
The best player I can think of is Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
that's another one.
That's like, one of the 2 I'm thinking.
You have a flash, but usually they start every quarter, the first quarter off like a house of fire, and you're like, oh, here you go. And then he does shit the rest of the game. Like literally nothing.
It's like those first 10 scripted plays are
like,
massive.
Like, wow, this is what Kyler can do. And then so he's kind of similar to Trevor Lawrence, where he's had moments, maybe a few more moments than Trevor, but not many more. And at this point, he's in year 6. So you don't even get because I always say at least 4 years for you to judge a quarterback. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's had plenty of time. So I would say that's the one where they have to decide this year if we're committed or not. Yeah. And then the crappy players like Daniel Jones, obviously he needs to be good. This is his last shot to be a starter.
Uh-huh.
So on a lower scale. But Kyler, I would say, is the main. He's got to lead a squad here.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
he showed nothing last year.
Oddly enough, the first month, and then he did nothing.
Yeah.
But Kyler kind of did nothing. So, yeah, whose fault was it? I couldn't, 100% tell you. But
Better
Marvin
watch
is
out or-
not a big separator.
No.
So you have to have a quarterback that has to realize where you got to put it.
Mhm.
If he's scared to throw it there, it's not going to be a good marriage, you know.
No.
No.
The other one I think of right away, going back to Justin Fields, is Brees Hall.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, again, for somebody that was so good 2 years ago. And again, you had, I don't even remember who they trotted out after Rodgers got hurt. It wasn't Tyrod Taylor, was it? I
It's
can't
almost-
remember.
It's almost
Yeah, I'm
always
trying to remember
Tyrod
last
Taylor.
Yeah. It's always Tyrod Taylor.
It's either him or what's his name from Doyle or whatever.
Yeah, Tim
Packers.
Boyle.
Oh, yeah, that was quick and bad.
Hall
There-
still maintained some level of like competency in that offense. Last year, it's like somebody like the Make-A-Wish kid got to be Brees Hall for the year, and absolutely, you're like, this is night and day. This isn't even a guy. Is this a soccer player out there that's playing football? I don't know, because he looked lost. He just the speed wasn't there. This guy can catch out of the backfield. They weren't doing much of anything. I mean, I'm sure I think I had it for fantasy, so he had maybe one or two solid games, but it was on the precipice of something being, hey, I had just broke a 60-yard run for a touchdown,
Yeah.
and I had 14 carries for 73 yards. So great, he had 13 for 13. So it just doesn't make any sense.
I feel very bad for Jets fans because it's going to be so unbearably bad this year. Fields is so not good. It's gonna be one of the ugliest offensives ever.
I feel bad for Garrett Wilson and Sauce. I mean, yeah, you get paid. You're what are you going to be doing?
They're gonna retire at halftime week 4.
Yeah, they're going to probably, who was it? Buffalo.
Vontae Davis.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Don't worry, Michael. They're going to win a 13-12 game against the Steelers, and Justin Fields will have 120 rushing yards. And then not win again for 2 months. But
yeah, I picked him. I
can almost tell you right now it's going to be that type of game.
Oh God, it's going to set back football to like the 20s. They're gonna want the wing team. What they put out there now, it's oh my God. Breakout candidate or candidates.
Oh, let's see. Where do I want to go with this? Are we using rookies?
Yeah, we can use them.
Well, Trevion Henderson was my guy in the draft, and he's my guy now. I think he was the second best back in that draft. So, you already saw it in the preseason, so the secret's out now. But yeah, everybody's freaking out because he's listed third on the depth chart. I was like, just give it a few weeks. They'll realize who the best player is back there.
Ramonde will fumble twice, and he'll be on the not dressing list. And
right. Well, that's the thing, because Vrabel won't put up with it. So it's yeah, he will be the Mr. Flash. He'll be kind of. I think he might have like an Achane type rookie season where it's like, now he's not going to get 25 touches or anything like that, but he's going to be a high efficiency, 12 touches a game, but has like 80, 90 yards with it. Whether it's receiving or rushing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the fans are going to want him to touch the ball 25 times. It's just not going to happen.
Right, because he won't last if you do.
No.
So yeah, that's my favorite rookie for sure. The breakout.
What's going to be we'll go Super Bowl. We'll do that first, and then we'll start trickling through like. I won't go awards because again, that's fucking dart throwing. Then we'll go division by division. So there's some semblance of people are actually watching post live. They can actually be like, okay, there's some structure to this shit show.
There you go. So I think Baltimore's got to be the favorite overall. Now, again, I realize they choke every year in the playoffs. I'm not. I'm just kind of looking at it as just this season, even though obviously history is history. But Baltimore has to be the favorite, in my opinion. So I would say Baltimore should be your winner because they have everything on every level.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a couple, everybody has a weakness for backups at somewhere. But for the most part, they could sustain a injury and still make it, where there's some of these teams. It's like, yeah, your starters are good, but you have nothing behind them, So I would say Baltimore is my favorite to win it. So in the NFC, I want to like the Bucs. They're so banged up already. And in my experience, you don't get healthier as the season goes on. As much as you think that'll happen, like, oh yeah, we missed him in the first 4 weeks, but we'll be way healthier down the road. So I just can't. That was going to be kind of my outlier. So I mean, the Eagles have to be the favorite to do it again, just because unless you want to pick an NFC North team, that to me is their only competition. Is whoever is the best team in the North. That's their only competition, I think. The West doesn't have it this year. No. The South, like I said, I like the Bucs, but I don't know that they're real contenders. So it's the best team in the North or the Eagles for the Super Bowl.
And I'd love to say Buffalo too, but I don't know. That's a team that always has. It's a great.
Well, that's the thing with them is their teams aren't as good as they were. Mm-hmm. So it's like you have the experience now, but not as good of a team. I mean, those teams 3 years ago when the Tyreek Hill scored in 16 seconds.
Yeah,
that team, had literally a starters on defense as backups. Like you could have had a starting defense with their backups. Yeah. Like people don't realize how good that team was, and they just screwed it up. So yeah, it's almost like we've got experience now. You're, with it, but we're actually not as good as we were. So that's what we're facing now.
Yeah, and then you just go down Miami, your team. No.
Not
Jets. No. New England. No. Anybody out of the South? No. The West,
division, but no.
Yeah. I'm thinking the West or the South might jostle back to like the late 90s, early 2000s with a lot of those 38-35 scores, 44-41, just like hopefully they're just back and forth. Central again. I don't trust the Bengals for a second.
Yeah, they're not winning playoff games like that.
No, and the other two teams I don't even qualify as anything.
So it's almost the best team in the West or Ravens. So
it's going to be
the Chiefs, the best team still in the West.
If
no
go down, if Slater go down, maybe there's a little more. Again, I don't. I just at some point the wheels have to fall off. Every receiver they've either drafted or signed has fucking completely failed. Everyone. Hollywood Brown, useless as the day is long. Sky, whatever, that dude from Toledo or Miami or wherever in the MAC, fucking he got traded out there. Rasheed Rice. I don't know if it's domestic or
Yeah, great when he's on the field.
yeah.
And they hit with that while he's on the field.
He only got 4 games, didn't he?
6.
6.
And it's at the
Yeah, still
beginning of
not
the year, which is what they wanted. So
Still not enough.
No. So I mean, you just look and by like process of elimination, I won't pick the Chargers because they don't have. They've got a very questionable running game. Again, Najee Harris, literally a smaller version of Bam Morris, can get 200 carries, but it'll get you like 700 yards. There'll be a long of like. Oh, unlike Bam Morris, another one that's off field trouble. In the receiving, I like Ladd. You bring Keenan Allen back, which is great, but Keenan Allen's got to be 33, 34.
yeah, Herbert just said, "Please give me someone that will actually catch it when I throw it."
Which I am very happy.
Really, all that was about.
I mean, Mike Williams. You re-sign Mike Williams and he retires, which I'm like, thank you, please. I don't want to watch you again. Quentin Johnson is an abject failure, which I said from the onset.
Wait, we both said you drafted a guy that can't catch when his main
To
job
play
is
wide receiver.
catch, because he does get open, which we never disputed. But he's literally done the same thing in college. When he does catch it, it is awesome. But
and you had the option of Zay or Addison in the draft, and you passed on both, which I was super happy with. Over the moon once again.
Ecstatic, Dave. I can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're at 30, it's like, okay, I get it. That's the last of the 4 that are in that range. But no, you had to pick a litter. You picked the dog that has a tail for a nose. In Vegas, that's the one that they're either going to be sneaky good or they're going to just be
never horrible. They're usually like 7 wins. Like even when they're not good, they're like 7 wins.
And they're usually competitive until like the end of the year when they just run out of games.
Right.
And you're playing people from like Pocatello Community College at quarterback, which come on, let's be serious. But I mean, you get. I'm going to call him Genetti. I know it's Genty. You've got Bowers. You've got Gino, who's again the serviceable quarterback that knows. Yeah, he'll make some stupid throws. Every fucking quarterback does. I hate that where it's like, let's rag on Gino. Let's rag on like a Jared Goff. These guys that aren't the fucking hobby darlings or the media darlings only made a dumb throw. We can watch film from every fucking quarterback and see that. It's not just because the guy always the first round pick 10 years ago. Now he's Renaissance, and now I think he's on the downside. He's not. But that's the team I'm probably most nervous for. Who'd they bring back? Devontae? No, they got Devontae. Who's got Devontae now?
Yeah.
Rams.
Yeah, Rams do.
Amari Cooper, who maybe it's a little jolt for him because again, he started like a wayward soul, did decent with Dallas, shit with Cleveland. I mean, he again serviceable, but not like a Cooper you knew, and then nothing with Buffalo.
Yeah, and they have an under radar rookie at wide receiver that no one talks about. Dante Thornton. Look out for him. He led the league in yards per catch in college. So nothing to look for.
Okay.
And then again,
they have Jacoby Myers and Amari Coopers of the world. Those are the underneath guys. Might open him up, Name to look out for.
I never liked them getting rid of Renfro either. I like that underneath guy.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I talked to my dad about this. I said the first 2 years, the guy is basically unguardable under 8 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't he even get a job? Hardly. He gets really. What happened? I don't get it. What did he do to these people? I mean, Carolina released him. They only brought him back because the guy got hurt right after they released him. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
No, when you go 90 catches for 800 yards, and again, I'd say he's a Chris Walsh on steroids from back in the day, where it's like you had somebody, again, 3rd and 4, he's running a 6-yard route. He's cognizant enough to run a fucking 6-yard route instead of some of these idiots that run a 2-yard route on a 3rd and 4.
Mhm.
So you want somebody that's at least knowledgeable enough to figure out that 6 is greater than the 4 we need, or something like that.
It is
Even
hilarious.
if you ask them to take a pay reduction, don't sign them to like a $12 million a year contract. I mean, that's sort of on the Raiders, but
Yeah.
there needs to be more of those. I know we'll talk about it. I think with New England, they've got a kid, I think, out of Eastern Washington. I enjoy very much. I watched him a couple times last year with the draft. It allowed them to get rid of several of their mishaps at receiver, but it's amazing where in this pass happy league you can't find that underneath welter guy that just runs a 3-yard and then drags across the field and then use whatever speed you got. If you get caught, you get caught. Again, I don't care if you get caught after a 20-yard gain. That's a 20-yard gain that we didn't have. But people make a big deal about that too. It's like, oh, you got caught from behind. You people won't even fucking run to the fridge without getting caught. So don't
Yeah.
fuck off. So I don't know.
And if he's caught from behind, that means he was ahead at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, if he catches up to the tacklers, then we got a problem. So that's the team in the West that I'm sort of nervous about, being a Chargers fan, but also, again, I like the Raiders' history. That's the problem. I like the history of the fucking Raiders in the 60s and 70s. And it's always a silver and black, which is always cool. I always remember Mervyn Hernandez, Swervin' Mervyn, because that's a cool name. So I don't want to see him do well, but if the Chargers suck, I'm not 18 again where I'm going to be like, hey, fuck the Raiders, fuck everybody. I don't give a fuck who. Just not the Cowboys, just not Patriots, just not Tom Brady. And it would suck because he's part owner.
Or the Chiefs.
Nah, Chiefs.
I'm tired of the Chiefs.
I'd rather see the Broncos, and I hate the Broncos.
Well, just as I'd rather see the Chargers, and I hate the Chargers. So, like, we're right here, Dave. It's okay.
So,
living in Missouri, I back it too. I don't like being around these people.
Well, I don't know what's worse, living in Dallas and being a Broncos fan and listening to Dallas Cowboy fans, or you being a Packers fan, which is different divisions, but still.
Well, the Cowboys fans are loud and look stupid because their team hasn't been good in 3 decades. Whereas,
but they don't realize that, though. That's the difference.
Well, the thing is, the Chiefs fans now only know the last 7 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair.
And they're way worse.
That's fair.
The Chiefs fans of the last 7 years are like the new hobby people of the last 5.
Correct.
Literally.
Good analogy, Dave.
Quantify that. I'll go out and say, I don't want to go Eagles, but I think that's going to be the thing. Because I don't like Ed. I mean, I like Ed. I don't want to see the Eagles there because I don't want to fucking deal with that shit again. It's going to be the limb because, again, there's nobody really that's the surefire except the Eagles, and I don't want to go there. Comes back to bite me, it does. Hey, how are you doing, Ed? Vikings, Raiders. And again, it'd be an interesting Super Bowl because you don't have two teams that haven't met since what? Super Bowl 8? I mean, somewhere in there, early mid 70s. It doesn't. More than likely, Eagles, Baltimore, with Detroit pushing them if they can stay healthy, and Eden Hutchinson returns, but I could see Green Bay jumping up too if Love takes that next step. But again, it's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. I'll just go with shot in the dark. The Vikings.
A lot of unhealthy guys.
I'd love the Vikings to lose in the last second field goal.
Yeah.
For hating the Vikings, you actually have a tendency to still put them on a pedestal, Dave. I'm not quite sure.
That's because Randy Moss is great.
Yeah, I
agreed. But that was then. This is now.
And I like watching Justin Jefferson when he's on. He is a receiver that is very fun to watch. I'll cheer for him again if I'm fantasy, but it's not like, go Vikings, I hope you win. I'm like, put up 40 points and lose on something ridiculous at the end so I can just gloat.
Yeah.
But you're banking on Minnesota and JJ McCarthy.
Oh yeah. I'm banking on
Hey,
O'Connell.
I'm not faulting you.
O'Connell, you've seen what he's done with a couple people that you're like, Sam Darnold. Or, was that who? Yeah, Darnold was there. It's like
he did. He was good, very good.
And this was after some people are pissing on him, like the old bumper stickers, like the little kid, the Calvin and Hobbes pissing on him. It's like,
but then again, I think that's a Minnesota thing.
Well, Jersey Darnold showed up in the playoffs, and it was real bad.
He did.
In which I
remember him.
That's right.
But
I'm just surprised that you would pick Minnesota with a rookie quarterback, still technically a rookie quarterback who hasn't.
But
really
the
done
piece
shit.
is wrong.
Agreed.
That's where, again, you got Addison, Hawkinson, Jefferson, a lot of sons in there. Aaron Jones. You get Jordan Mason, who's a competent backup. Again, defense is solid. Secondary still. Again, for them drafting corners in the first and second round constantly, they still haven't found really. So, again, like I said, you don't want to. What was it? 2-3 years ago when I picked Giants and somebody, and Giants did well. Yeah, good. I picked it. Detroit. I was like, I'm high on Detroit. They've done well. I'm still high on Detroit, so it's going against the grain. So if I'm right, I can say, yeah, I'm right.
It's just unlike you to go with an unproven guy at quarterback. That's the only reason why I had to say something.
I just can't stomach the Vikings or the Bears. Detroit, I can tolerate. And that's because I love Dan Campbell. And I like a lot of the players on that team. But, man, fuck the Bears and Vikings.
I'm not saying either. I mean, Bears, I don't mind. I'm not terrible. I've got Chicago buddies. I know you got Grant. We got Grant. You talked to him, though. But that's another unbelievably boisterous and fucking loud fan base when they're doing well. God. You couldn't put Paul Bunyan's fucking foot in their mouth and shut them up. They're still going to find a way to fucking talk. And when they're bad, they're hiding. They're actually hibernating.
So who's going to be your picks this year, or your pick this year, Michael?
For the Super Bowl?
Yep.
It's probably going to be a rematch.
You think so?
No, but
Horrifying.
That's just probably what we're going to be given. We're going to have to suffer through an entire season just to watch.
Thinking it's going to be different than it's the same.
Yeah, until somebody beats the Chiefs, you can't pick against them. They just always manage to win,
especially in the postseason. Somehow,
that's what I mean. I wish Andy Reid never went there.
I love Andy Reid like you.
Yeah, I wish
He's
he would have
phenomenal
wound
coach.
up back with the Packers where he started.
I'm going to go Detroit, and I'll kind of throw a Hail Mary out there just for the simple fact that I don't think it's going to happen. But I want Denver to get back to where they were, so I'm going to go Denver and Detroit.
Oh, I thought you meant like top 5 picks.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
I mean, if you're going to be a homer, be a homer.
Yeah, be a realistic one.
I don't think it's possible, but I honestly didn't think with Bo Nix that Denver was going to make the postseason. So that was a very welcome surprise. They didn't do bad in the draft. They didn't do bad in offseason cuts and picks. So like, I don't think they're definitely not any worse than what they were going into this season. I was surprised they cut Estime, but I get it. They were pretty deep at running back, and he didn't really show much. So you got to start cutting guys when you're like 5 deep, I think, at running back. Kind of defeats the purpose.
The receiver, though, trading him away for a bag of donuts, that was.
Yeah, it was
They better hope that the dude from Illinois is the real deal.
Well, they got the 2 main guys though. They've got Sutton, and Mims showed a lot of promise. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's fully reached his potential yet. The biggest thing for Denver though, the last few seasons is freaking protecting the quarterback. So again, that's really going to make the difference. If they can find ways to keep Bo Nix upright, they stand a chance.
Mhm.
Again, my opinion, from what I paid attention to and the footage that I watched, I don't watch a whole lot of games anymore just for the simple fact that, like, I have no interest. They're not – watching football for me is no longer fun. It just – I don't know. It's so different compared to, like, what it used to be. So when I watch games, I watch the recap, the longer recap, where you see full drives, you see kind of where things break down. You see, you don't see all the ups and all the downs, but you still get a pretty good idea of how the game went on both sides of the ball. So.
Yeah, with Denver, it's going to come down to similar to Dallas for a few years. You remember all the defensive touchdowns, all the sacks they would get?
Yeah.
And we said, well, eventually that's not going to happen anymore. Then what do they look like? Last year, they led the league in sacks. That is not a team that should lead the league in sacks.
Correct.
So if they have some regression, and then they scored, I think it was 6 defensive touchdowns. Yeah, you have to assume that's going down to at least 2. So if that happens, then it comes down to the offense making up for the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens, they'll be right there again. But if you get that natural regression and stuff just says the same, which wasn't bad, then they're right on the edge of the play, probably missing the playoffs.
Right.
So that's where it's going to come is the defense. Like, it's good, but is it top 2 in the league good, or is it 11th in the league good?
Right.
That's what it's going to come down to.
And it definitely makes a difference,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Knicks, who, well, let's hope that they expand the playbook a little bit more. Going into the second year of his rookie contract, so it'll be interesting to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
And it's not about what he looks like early on. It's going to be what he looks like with adversity, and then, of course, much later in the season. So that's going to be the telltale sign for him. I like what I saw last year. I have no complaints about him. The only complaint that I still always have in Denver is they still don't do shit when it comes to the offensive line. And if you can't protect your quarterback, how do you expect to win football games? That's the only thing that continues to piss me off.
But you know what's sad, Steve, is most people have them ranked in the top 10 of offensive lines.
Which I don't know how.
You
don't see it.
You don't watch enough. There's a lot of bad offensive lines out there. And yours isn't bad.
I'm sure there are, Brad, because remember, unlike you.
So yours is better than you probably think it is. Now, I'm not saying it's elite, though, but it's not like Eagles level or Chiefs level but it is in that next tier, probably.
Well, and that's
probably.
There's never been defense has been a main priority with Denver as of late. And that's partially because offensive line has been terrible. You need the defense to keep the score low in order for the offense to do something. Last year was different because, Bo Nix showed a lot of promise. And the defense did fantastic. There were times in which the offensive line did screw the pooch. But again, unlike you, Brad, I pay attention to my team.
Right.
I don't give two flying fucks about anybody else. I don't care. It's no different. Michael pays attention to Green Bay. He doesn't really care about anybody else unless he wants to know that Chicago got their ass kicked and they lost 33 to -10. So which is the same for me. I pay attention to what's going on in the division, but I don't go watch the games.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
my games, that's it. I pay attention to all the scores of everybody else and how watch highlights. But yeah, the only game I care to watch is mine.
I mean, if there's a major blow up or an upset, then okay, I'll go check the stats, and it's okay, well, this is interesting. So I still have that level of interest, but as Ed always says, watch the games, and that's important when it comes to speculating or who to potentially collect from a rookie class perspective or a sophomore or whatever. We all know this, but from a collecting perspective, we don't give two shits because we collect.
We can't afford
one.
Did you get it?
What was that?
Or is that?
I got one.
In pre-show, he was talking about how he had lost one that he had bid on. That he bid more than the last one sold and still lost.
This one, it was $150 starting bid with the best offer option. So I sent an offer and he countered and I accepted, and it was for less than what I bid on the other one.
There you go. So that's a win-win.
Yep. I'm happy now.
Good deal.
I needed a Woodson autograph back in the collection. I don't have one.
All right, Dave, because I know you got a path of how we want to do this.
Get on it.
NFC West. Prognosticate, Brad.
So everybody talks about the NFC South being the worst. I think the NFC West might be the worst now. So in the NFC, because the 49ers, go look at the defensive depth chart compared to what that looked like 3 years ago. Oh, wow. Now Salah's back and his teams play hard. He does know defense. I'm sure he'll get them to at least middle of the pack. But on offense, they can't ever have a receiver stay healthy.
No.
It's ridiculous. It's horrible. And their offensive line ain't what it used to be either. So the 49ers to me are they're well coached. They'll win 8 games or something, in that range. They can win that division because the division isn't any good. But Seahawks, I think, might have the most potential. But it's Sam Darnold not with Kevin O'Connell, so he's with a defensive coach.
And mine is Justin Jefferson and DJ Metcalf.
Right.
Or DK Metcalf.
So, like, Smith and Jigba's legit. Cooper Kupp's a good safety option, but again, is he going to play 17 games? And they actually had 2 good running backs, so that's good. But so I mean, he's got a shot there. This is not like a doom for Sam Darnold, but again, like, what's best case scenario for the Seahawks? Like 9 wins, maybe. I just feel like everyone in that division, I can argue 9 wins. Someone's got to win 9 games, basically. So, and then the Cardinals we talked about are they're decent, but they got an old running back, James Conner, who's been good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But that usually catches up with it. Kyler Murray's only good in the first quarter. They still don't really have many weapons. They got McBride, who's amazing.
Yeah, he's very good.
But how that guy doesn't have any touchdowns is somebody should be fired for that. But you got like Zay Jones of the world, Michael Wilsons of the world, like just not enough over the course of the 17 game season to win 10 plus games. So, and then who am I forgetting? Rams. They're probably the favorite, but Stafford has no back, so that may become a problem. When you just start practicing a week before the season,
scary.
And anybody who's had any kind of legit back issue knows they don't go away. They may feel a little better. They don't go away. So his re-injury risk has got to be like 75%. So, but ideally, they would have Kyron Williams, Nakua, Devontae Adams. They drafted really well on defense last year.
Yep.
So if those guys get better, so I would have to say the Rams are the favorite. I would peg them as the favorite. But that's with Matthew Stafford, not Jimmy Garoppolo, which is the backup.
Yeah.
So if Stafford misses half the year, I'm telling you, 9 wins win that division. So I think.
Yeah, and that again, they've signed some folks over the last couple of years for that old line, but it's not names you're like super excited about.
Right.
It's like throwing money again at a problem and hoping it goes away. Just because the guards are getting 18 or 20 million a year, you sign somebody for 8 to 12. It's like, oh, we got good value. There's a reason why they're at that price point. So I think one hit to Stafford, if you get the one of those classic old, he's setting up to throw and he gets T-boned in the back. Oh, that's going to be a world of hurt. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see Arizona do something because it's fun when they're winning.
Yeah, that's who I'm rooting for, but
I hope nobody comes out of the division. They just fold. That's it. Everybody's contracted. 2 years.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say only one team makes the playoffs out of that division.
I think that's safe.
My hot take right there.
Yeah, that's the 53-40 mark. Go to Vegas with that one.
And somehow we'll have 2 12-5s and 1 11-6 out of there.
Yeah, right. We dominant.
Arizona and San Fran will be there. And never again we'll do a preview show.
Yeah, this is not a good idea. We'll erase this one.
Man, it didn't save. Who knew? NFC South.
I trust the Bucks the most.
Yep.
But like I said, I worry about the injuries on offense. But when they drafted Ibuka, we were like, you don't need him.
And
This is why you draft the best player available.
Yep.
Because you may think you don't need him, but I wouldn't hurt they glad they drafted him now.
And I'm sure they thought a little bit too about Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin's
Like,
his ability.
being dinged up, and you're not going to have him right away. So it's like, hey, let's. Evans again too. He's not a spring chicken.
Right.
He got 1,000 yards last year by fucking hook or by crook, the old-fashioned way, like trying to throw to him for like a 3-yard route. So it's not like he had 1,170 yards.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
No, and he was banged up for 4 or 5 games. So yeah, that drafting him, that's huge because what McMillan's out too, isn't he?
Yes, he had that neck thing in the where he landed on. Yeah, so he's out at least I think the 4 weeks. I think they put him on IR. So
Kate Otten's dinged up. So I mean,
yeah.
I don't even know if Jackie Harris might come back, play tight end. I don't know. Alvin Harper's still around somewhere. You can
Because if you remember, they started off slow last year, and I think it's a similar trajectory. You might see the Falcons beat up on them in week 1 and be like, whoa, but that's not really who they are yet.
No, it's going to be a shell of themselves.
But Falcons, my concern is you lost the right tackle right before the season, so there was no planning for that.
Mm-hmm.
And Penix is a left-handed quarterback, so that's even a bigger deal. And they have a new center. Center went to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
So that affects Bijan, both of those, plus the quarterback. And Penix has the largest split of pressure to non-pressure, like how good he is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was literally the number 1 quarterback with no pressure. He was literally, I think he was 33rd. So there's only 32 starters. I think there was 36 qualifiers. He was 33rd. With pressure.
Damn.
So
as long as he beat Anthony Richardson.
That is a big split.
I beat Anthony Richardson.
So when you have splits like that, your highs, and we saw that if you watched them last year, you would be like, oh, they're a contender the next week. Oh my gosh, they're losing to the Saints, or whatever. Like, you'd just be like, oh my gosh. So
I wouldn't even say the next week. It seemed like one play, boom, Drake London, 38-yard catch. Okay, that looks nice.
Right.
Next play, Drake London, it's 35 yards over his fucking head. It's a 13-yard crossing route. You're throwing it at the goalpost, and you're at midfield. How are you doing this?
So obviously teams know to get him off his spot.
Yeah.
Now, again, he can adjust to that, and maybe he will. But if he doesn't, I just don't see them winning that division if you don't. Teams are going to figure that out. I can't be the only one that saw that. So teams know that.
I like him, but I just don't think he's going to be the answer. I don't think he's going to do. Again, I'd love to see him do a lot of good things and produce, but I hope he stays healthy and has a legit shot to see. Yeah.
So that's all.
Give him some room at least.
Yeah, I like guys to at least have hey, I either could make it or not because my body just was But the Panthers might have the best offensive line in that division. Now they have no defense. That's an issue. I mean, they do get Derek Brown back, who they lost at the very beginning of the year, but that's one fat guy. Which fat guys are important. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think that might make you the 32nd defense to the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, another year away. But Bryce Young took strides, showed good stuff, I thought. And they're at least building the line in front of them. So, I think the Panthers will be fun.
Yeah.
So, they'll be in a lot of games, but ultimately – it wouldn't surprise me if they lost a bunch of fourth quarter games because their defense couldn't get a stop. One of those our offense scored with 4 minutes left and we lost because but I can see that. And then the Saints are
dogs.
The goal is 5 wins. So
that
unless
team,
Spencer Rattler or something I haven't seen from him yet. They're kind of old. That's the thing is because they pushed the can down the road even when they shouldn't have. I get it with Drew Brees.
Yep.
No problem. Whether it worked or not, still you get it. You had to go for it. Then you started doing it with Derek Carr and they keep doing it. And and they're still kind of old. And
they're injury prone. Kamara's injury.
Oh,
Olave's got concussion issues.
yes.
I mean, those are your two best players.
Right.
They can't stay in the field. I at some point, I don't know if Mickey Loomis is still like the GM or whatever, and the Bensons are still the owners. It's like you got to be like, we've got to go back as much as it's gonna hurt to like the early '80s, to where we're fucking terrible. Bottom out, trade these guys away, get what we can now for them, and again, we're not going to be putting anybody in the stands, but we can't keep being over $70 million or what. It seems a bigger number every year, like over the cap at the end of the year. How does that work out where you can play and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, right.
and
I feel kind of bad for Kellen Moore because he got his head coaching job, and I'm like, I hope they truly give him a shot, and not just look at the wins and losses, but like, hey, look what he did with Spencer Rattler. He made him a coach. Or
that's
you never want to turn down a head coaching job.
Right.
But damn. It couldn't have felt great signing it.
Right.
No.
It isn't like, just get through this year and we have $180 million in cap space next year. No, they don't. So
the next time they have cap space, the year starts with a 3.
Yeah. That's being generous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now their defensive line's like decent. Like they have some decent players there, but overall, just kind of old and
like I said, you need to just dump them all, eat shit for 5 years, and then see where you're at.
Because otherwise it's just going to be the same. We'll get to in the AFC North, the Steelers. It's sort of the same thing. It's like you're spinning your tires. You catch a rock, maybe you go forward 3 feet. Spin your tires. There's no rock. You go back 4 feet. You're not doing anything, and you get off to maybe like a 3-2 start. People are like, oh yeah, I'm starting to buy, and then you lose 8 straight. Yeah.
I mean, it's like I get it because the fear of you don't want to be bad. Like you're afraid because 1 year is fine, but you just don't want to turn into 3, 4, 5, 6 and build a losing culture. So I get like why teams are so like, I don't want to be bad. Yeah, 9-8, and it's not doing any good, but at least the fans are like interested, So I mean, I get like the perspective of it, but it's like sometimes you just got to admit you messed up and just said, okay, because in NFL, it isn't like Major League Baseball where it literally could take you 7 years. NFL, you can do it in 3, So, but I get the perspective of, but usually it's just misevaluating where your team is to begin with, which is what the Saints have done the last 5 years.
And that's one too. You'd hope that. Again, I have no idea what their stadium situation is, but as big as the Superdome's been in our lives for different events like the Hurricane Katrina, people going there, the block punt on Monday Night Football after Katrina when they were on, or the year after, I think, or whatever it was. It's like, and then wrestling in the 80s, big down there. But you got to get out of that stadium. That's in a spot where nobody wants to go. It's like downtown, crowded, fucking just. You see all these stadiums, they're out, except, of course, U.S. Bank, why the Vikings went to put it out in the boondocks somewhere and actually have a lot of parking that they can control. Sorry, Minnesota, you lose again. And not having like suburban or like the downtown metro, where again, Jerry World, middle of nowhere. Or I mean, it's out of ways, and then he can control all the funds. Atlanta, there's baseball wise is outside of town. I don't know if that new stadium again is down that way, but it's I don't know. It just seems like a franchise that's never going to do anything until several factors line up. It can't just be like one. It's again, an analogy Michael might understand. I'm sure you will. It's like Hendrick Racing. If you want to have your 4 cars in NASCAR doing well, you can't just have Jeff Gordon doing well and then Casey Kane finishes 20th. You've got to sort of work together, even though you're going to be working for yourself. It's like
Right.
you want to see the greater good as an organization, but you also want to see individualized success. And you can't do that when your salary cap's a fucking disaster. You've got injured veterans, suspended veterans. I mean, Kamara's either suspended or injured. How many years now? 3, 4? Olave's been up. Michael Thomas was the fucking best receiver 4 or 5 years ago, and then he literally he stood in the toilet, flushed, and he's gone.
Yep.
It's like so NFC North.
So this is interesting because, well, I'll start with this because I made an analogy to a guy at work, and at the end he goes, "I think you're right." And I told him the Colts are the Packers. They're the exact same team, just a different quarterback. And I said, "Why do you love the Packers way more than the Colts?" Because go think about it. Great running back. Check. 3 really good offensive linemen. Check. Pretty good pass rusher. Defensive linemen. Check.
Yep.
Couple good couple good defensive backs. The rest of them, check. 4 decent weapons, but none of them are number ones. Check. It's literally they're the exact same squads.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as high on the Packers as everyone else is, because no, I like the trade for Micah Parsons. It's giving them that I can win a game for you when we don't deserve to win one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he brings, And that's what people like that bring, and they needed guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my concern with them in that division, could they win the division? Yes. Could I see them finish 7-10? I think that's within the realm of possibility. So I'm not as high on the Packers as everyone else is. So that's probably my hot take that people might disagree with. I'm like, unless I love the Colts, why would I?
Yeah.
To me, they're the same team. Now, the quarterback's different. I would give the edge to the Packers for the quarterback. But even coaching, I wouldn't even. Steichen's a good offensive coach. I don't. So,
LaFleur calls games scared.
Yes.
And it's been a very frustrating thing the entire time he's been there. If they get out to a big, if they come out and they do very good, they'll have 2 or 3 drives that they look unstoppable, and then the next 6 will be terrible because he's afraid to do anything. He's afraid to make a mistake.
Right.
And their defense hasn't been good enough to overcome that for years.
Right. So,
and yeah, our defensive, our corners, Nixon's our number 1. And he was a guy that we just kind of threw out there to play in, nickel or, something like 2 or 3 years ago. Now he's our number 1. Hobbs hasn't played yet.
Oh, yeah.
If not for McKinney, it would be a very bad defensive back group.
That's what I'm saying. Like, now they find ways to win,
but Edger and Cooper is better than every defensive player on the Colts. Edger and Cooper's a superstar. He is going to be an all-pro.
He could be, yes. But Zaire Franklin's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I just love Coop. I think he's going to be an all-pro in the next 2 years.
Yeah, that very well could be the case.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, very similar squads, how they're built. I just found it interesting when we were going through it.
Yeah, but Jonathan Taylor disappeared. I don't consider him a good back.
1,400 yards.
Huh?
He still had 1,400 yards.
But
that was with Anthony Richardson.
But they were 1,400 yards in a vacuum. They meant nothing.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they won like 8 games, I think. So they were 2 games from the playoff. I mean, I don't know. I just found it interesting. Like, I never thought of it before, but I'm like, they're built the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of holes on the Packers team. That's why I don't get too worked up. I mean, I'm not Steve going to pick the Broncos to be at the Super Bowl. I'm not picking the Packers to be at the Super Bowl because it's not going to happen. More than likely.
And they're kind of like the Bucs receivers. For some reason, 2 of them are always hurt.
Yeah.
It's like one comes back, another one's good. And I'm like, at some point, it's just a trend. So it's like,
well,
so
I know going into last season, I believe they fired their strength and conditioning guys because there was always soft tissue injuries.
Yeah, right.
So, and then, Christian Watson gets bit again, non-contact injury, but it wasn't a soft tissue.
Yeah,
he blew out that ACL. But, you couldn't get him, Reed, and Dobbs on the field at the same time. It just didn't happen. And
the thing is with them, they need them on the field at the same time because none of them are number ones.
Correct.
But if they're going against 3s, well, all of a sudden you have a matchup that you can take advantage of. So that's why they all need to be out there.
Yep.
But,
right now I know that Golden and Reed and I believe Dobbs, they're healthy. Watson apparently is way ahead of schedule. They don't figure him to miss much more than the minimum. And then we still have Heath, but not Heath, but Wicks, Dontavian Wicks. Another guy I thought might be in that deal to Dallas. I thought for sure we'd give up a defensive player and a wide receiver just because Jerry likes receivers.
Yeah. So, I think that's a team with a high variance, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, they could easily make the playoff, wouldn't surprise me, but I'm just not as high as consistent.
If they could be healthy, and that's a giant if, because they're not.
Right. That's why I say if you're not healthy now.
Yeah. You're not going to get healthy
later. You're right.
No. Because, you get those guys back in 4 or 5 weeks. Guess what? That's week 1 for them.
Right.
By the time they get into playing shape and in the groove and everything, you might need to win out to make the playoffs in a wild card spot. Yeah.
So, and then you go. So, what could be easily the best division in football also has a lot of question marks because then you have the Bears, who seem to have everything but a quarterback that you don't know can process. So if he can, all of a sudden, kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because they do have the weapons necessary. And they have 4 new offensive linemen.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, they did everything to be good this year.
Yeah.
And
last year when everyone picked it, that was just way too early.
Yeah.
It's giving me a Patriots this year vibe.
Yep.
Everybody.
They're.
Anyway, we'll get to them. But, the Bears, it's just can Caleb process stuff quick enough and let it fly?
I think
he can throw the ball. He just the similar Fields problem, really. Just they can't process. So we saw Texas versus Ohio State. What was Arch Manning's problem? It wasn't that he couldn't throw, couldn't process. So everything was late. You're late. You're screwed. you know? So
yeah, if the number one read isn't there, they don't know how to go through progressions.
right.
It's way too quick for them.
So having 3 great weapons out there does you no good if you can't get past the first one.
Yep.
So, and I have no way to predict if he can do that. So that team could be fun though if he can. But and they deserve to have a good offense. You know what I mean? Like they've had great defenses and they've had some defense. They deserve to have a cool, fun offense to watch. You know, but I just afraid you're just going to have a lot of frustration of, oh, that play was there and you didn't make it. Oh, that was just a lot of that. Like, oh, what a you know.
Are they still the only franchise that don't have a 4,000-yard passer? That's so bad.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, obviously, I love it. I love the fact that their best quarterback is either Jay Cutler or a guy who played before color television.
Right.
That's what they've got.
Because on defense, their only weakness is the second pass rusher.
Yeah.
They got to find one. But other than that, they got everything else. So
Sweat is still there, isn't he?
yes.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah,
kind of like you talked about Gary with, you got to have another guy that can take advantage. And Austin Booker, who looked like maybe he could do it, ended up getting hurt. So I don't know how long he's out, but yeah, they got to find someone else, or that'll end up being a problem as well. But Bears are most intriguing, I would say. The Lions you pretty much know what you're going to get, but they went 8-0 on the road last year. That ain't happening again. You ain't getting 8-0 on the road in the NFL back-to-back games. No. You're not doing that. So there has to be some regression with that.
And they had an incredible record in one-score games, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think them and Minnesota both did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And typically those teams lose 2 or 3 of those games that they won last year.
Right. So what did they both have 14 victory, or one had 15, one had 14 or something? You're not seeing that.
Something like that, yeah.
And it's a much tougher schedule this year too. That North had an easier schedule last year. It just happened to be that way. But so what I'm trying to figure, I think I trust the Lions more just because the veteran quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Vikings. Kind of like the Vikings defense just because of Flores. He just finds a way to always be a pest.
Yeah.
No matter who he sticks out there, no matter who's blitzing, he finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the Vikings, obviously, when all their wide receivers are healthy, are a problem.
Massive problem.
But Addison's out 3 weeks. Jefferson hasn't hardly practiced this training camp, so. Bears are getting them at a good time on Monday night. You can't win that one at home. It'll just show they're not ready. Put it that way, because they should win that game. So yeah, I would give the Lions the edge. I like the coaching of the Vikings. I like Dan Campbell, but I would say the X's and O's I would give to the Vikings. And then the Bears are the wild card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it'll be interesting to see what Detroit's offense looks like without Ben Johnson.
Right. That's the other thing is it this close or is it this?
Yeah.
So, I don't think any of them are winning 14-plus games, put it that way.
No.
I think the winner will be around the 11.
Yeah,
more typical what you would see.
NFC East.
Well, the Eagles have to be the favorite. But now here's my hot take. I think the Commanders regress. They're the oldest team in the league. Number one. They were 20 of 23 on 4th downs last season.
Damn.
20, and these weren't 4th and inches. Okay. It wasn't like the tush push for the Eagle, Yeah. Okay, what's the chances that you're better than 60%. I mean, 60% is good,
Yeah.
So they also won 4 games where their probability of winning with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter were like under 10%.
Including
Everybody
Chicago.
remembers the Hail Mary, but they had one in Dallas, I think, too. They had 4 different games where their probability of winning in the fourth quarter was like 10% or less. So you factor all those in. I'm just going to think about just natural regression of things that they fall back to at least 3 games, I would say. I think, did they win 11?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember. I think it was 11. So that would put them 8 and 9 and not making the playoffs. So that's kind of my hot take of that. And it has nothing to do with Jaden Daniels. It just has an overall. You guys maxed out what you could possibly do.
They won 12. They won 12 last year.
Yeah, no way they won at 12. I mean, so I actually haven't missed in the playoffs. My other hot take is this whole demise of the Cowboys. I'd say not so fast. I think they're still the second best team in that division. And I think Dak could win MVP. So that's my.
He's always got that chance, but it's contingent on him staying healthy.
Oh, yes.
That's where, even not being a Cowboys fan whatsoever, it's like, yeah, he's got fucking talent. I love CD Lamb. I've had him. This is the first year I don't have him in fantasy in either of my leagues. But I've had him for like 4 or 5 years. George Pickens is the guy that I want to see how he does. Again, talent, but he needs to be Casper for not just Halloween. It's the whole year.
Right.
Sort of like I said with Kyler in the first 10 plays scripted, and you're just like, wow, holy shit. You get him involved early, then it's like his brain says, don't be a dick. You missed a couple of throws, as Russ did after he came in for Fields. It's like, then what? You could automatically see him pouting. It's like, dude, you're not going to get the fucking ball every time. Somebody needs to hit you with the Duggan's 2x4 and be like, what the fuck is in there? Skittles? Cotton balls? Tack? I mean, what's in your fucking head? Because you're not getting the ball every time because you're not beating your defender every time.
Right.
Well, he's got talent, which means they can't double team CD all the time.
Oh,
Because if they do, like, he has the chance to just pick them apart. Again, beating his defender, but at the same time, when you think about it, if you've got your number 2 on Pickens and you got your 1 and 3, or your 1 in one of your safeties, he should be able to beat a number 2 almost every time.
And Jalen Tolbert really came on second half of the year last year too. So, and they have 2 good tight ends.
They got all the tight ends.
You're going to see I think you could see a Burrow of last year type year from Dak. Again, all of this revolves around people staying healthy, obviously.
Of course.
But yeah, I think the defense, all their corners missed a bunch of time last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of ball. We were talking about how many turnovers they would create
2 years ago.
Where we said there had to be some negative natural regression, I think there's got to be some positive. Okay, yeah, you lost Parsons, obviously, but he did play half the year last year anyway. And they get Sam Williams back, who they lost to injury. He's supposed to be his replacement. He showed promise.
And they're banking on Bland, though, too, because they just paid him.
Right. So, I am more bullish on the Cowboys than consensus, and I say I'm lower on Washington. Basically, I'm just swapping the two. where most people have. So we'll see if that bites me. But I just, I'm not in the Cowboys the Cowboys can be a mess, obviously, but I think they have a winning record this year. Put it that way.
Mm.
And then the Giants, I don't think will be a laughing stock anymore, so that's good because they have a dominant. That defensive line should be pretty dominant.
Mm-hmm.
So when your defensive line's dominant, you're at least in a lot of games, assuming your quarterback can at least not turn the ball over. And Russ can kind of not turn the ball over. He may not make a ton of plays anymore, but we'll see because they've got good young talent there. Giants, I think, are better than. I think they're closer to the Commanders than. So that's what I would say.
And I think too, Dayball, we're getting close to him getting shit canned if he has another stinker of a year.
Yeah, he can't be a disaster, right?
Yeah.
It cannot be a disaster. You have to go out going, I want to see that team next year. That sort of thing. It's not about making the playoffs. Or you just need to be able to leave and go, I want to see them next year, Yeah, I agree. Otherwise, there's one seat that's hotter than his, but we'll get to that.
AFC West. We'll start with the best.
So the Raiders. The Chiefs, they're supposedly going to go back to, with the Hollywood Browns, with the Xavier Worthies, to try to get the ball downfield now.
Mm.
They haven't had it since Tyreek. They haven't done it since Tyreek. Literally, Mahomes throws the most screen passes in the league. As much great that we say he is, and he performs when he has to. Literally, they run one of the most simplest things. Now, he dresses it up and makes it look different, but it's literally one of the most simplest throws that you can make.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a remnants of those Eagles teams with Brian Westbrook, too. That's what Andy Reid does.
Oh, yeah. He's a master at it.
Yep.
So this isn't even like hating on Mahomes. Just, we think of Mahomes as some
no.
It's not. He's really a product of the system, but he can save a bad play.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him elite. Is I can save the bad play. Where Donovan McNabb maybe couldn't. So, and they're the best coach team in the NFL. No, you can't even argue that point. Offense, defense, special teams. They literally have the three best coaches for each of them.
Spags is not going anywhere. I'd rather stay here.
He was the best when the Bears were there, when Hester and all them were there.
Yep.
Hit the same. So, literally, the three best coaches in the league at their positions are there. So, you automatically go into a game with a 3-point advantage, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, but they are. I would not call them the most talented anymore. That would probably. You could argue it's Denver now. So, Chargers, Harbaugh, they're going to be in every game. They're boring. The problem is you're going to play Mahomes. If it's a 3-point game, you're going to lose it. That's the problem with playing the Chiefs. If you're in a 3-point game, you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Seeing proof of it.
Yeah.
So, but I love Omari and Hampton fits what he wants to do. And then you've got Najee, hopefully to back him up. Hopefully it's that way and not the other way.
Yeah.
But the Rashawn Slater thing, though, really, because that was your advantage, is you didn't have really a weak link on the offensive line. Now you have to start Trey Pipkins 17 times.
Which is a rusty Edmund Fitzgerald link.
Right.
Anytime I saw him out there was a sad time. This is
So
him and Storm Norton were just like
right. And Khalil Mack was amazing last year for his age. Can he duplicate that again in his 30s? Maybe he's the freak, but you have to think regression's coming with that, and then where do they find it from? Bosa's gone, which he should be. That was needed. But, they drafted the kid from Ohio State. I think he's more of a rotational guy, but maybe he steps up. But, Harbaugh got the most out of them last year.
Mhm.
So, again, another team, I think regression's coming by a game or two. Not massive, but
No.
yeah, I don't see them winning that division. I think they're the third best team.
Where did Bosa end up?
Bills. So he'll come back to screw me somehow. And then you got the Raiders, who are still fourth place. Poor little Raiders. But
Even though I picked
we talked about that. Even though hey, you never know. But yeah, I would put them in that order. Talent. So I'd still pick the Chiefs, but I think Denver might have the most talent now. So I'd go Denver, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders.
God, I was sitting down for that. You better not jinx them, Brad.
Yeah, that's why it's like I still would pick the Chiefs, but you could definitely make the argument with the Broncos.
You picked them for the Super Bowl. Shut up.
Of course I did. They're my team.
Chargers are my team. I'm not picking them.
But Denver should be better than what they were last year. That's the reason why I'm giving them a shot.
Well, Chicago's going to be better than they were last year. Should be.
It should be.
Hey, these are all guesses anyways. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you went with the Raiders for
Getting on
God's
your
sake.
blankets already. AFC South.
Oh, see, this. I think this is the most fun because I think there's three teams that can win it. So I would lean. I think I'm going to lean Jaguars, banking on Trevor Lawrence and his new Liam Cohen figuring it out like he did. I think Baker Mayfield's better than Trevor Lawrence, though. So
You've been hanging out with too many people that collect Panini Prism, Brad.
yeah. So I kind of wanted to go Colts, but again, there's a big problem there. So that I can't quite get past with Daniel Jones and stuff. But so I'd go Jags. Again, they kind of have everything on offense. It's a middle of the pack offensive line. It's not dominant. And defense is middle of the pack. But I think middle of the pack and those, and then if Lawrence plays like he did the 1/2 season, then they win the division. But that whole division's what is, because no one does anything. The Colts never win it. But I think I like the Colts team the best. And the Texans are the most frustrating. They always win it. I love the head coach. I love the defense. But they refuse to make this team better. This is 2 years in a row, and it's pissing me off. Because it's like you could challenge in the AFC. But they made their offensive line worse somehow. I don't get it. You have a quarterback going in his third year. Like, you have the defense. There were two glaring weaknesses. You needed another receiver, and you needed two offensive linemen. No problem, they said, but he was one of the two decent offensive linemen. Bold strategy. We'll see if it works for him. But so obviously the ability of the defense would make them the favorite in most people's eyes. But I think I'll go with the Jaguars, mainly just because they pissed me off this offseason. I feel like they're just wasting it because I really feel like they could have been a true contender and they refused to make the team. out of spite, I'm not picking the Texans, even though you probably should. And then who's the other shitbag team? Oh, Titans. Did actually have a decent defense, by the way. So, yeah. Our quarterback, from all accounts, has not heard one bad thing from him. But he's the first one in there, the last one to leave. You know, all the cliches, I guess he is. So that is a great sign for them. The opposite.
I love every time I see a clip of him speaking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
yep. Literally like what you would dream of.
Yep.
That pick after probably going through pre-draft stuff and like getting to know him, like, okay, this guy is a real deal.
He is surrounded by veteran wide receivers, which is actually kind of cool. Yep. Usually the rookie quarterback is not surrounded by veteran wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this could work and win 6-7 games. Wouldn't surprise me. So, because like I said, their defense should be pretty good, really. It just got overlooked because Will Levis would throw the ball backwards. The offense would give up 14 points, so then it looked like the defense gave up 20 or something, when really they didn't.
Yeah.
So
like
I said, fun division, because I think you can make an argument for 3 of them winning the division, and the Titans improving.
If the Colts don't do anything in the next 3 to 4, maybe 5 years, and then all these offensive linemen either go somewhere else or just retire, will this be the greatest waste of an offensive line? I mean, that O-line rivals what the Cowboys had, not in the 90s, because that was like all world. I'm talking like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
10, 12 years ago. I'm sure there's other teams, but that I just keep thinking of that. Like, Quentin Nelson is fucking.
He's Joe Thomas.
And yeah, once again, you're just watching the years tick off his career, and you're 9-8. Wow.
Right.
I've said it before. I'll say it many episodes down the road. Get that Barry Horowitz pat on the back. That's all you fucking got. Are you serious? You're Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson? Josh McCown? I mean, seriously, figure this shit out. I know Andrew Luck threw a curveball like 6 years ago. Are you still waiting to hit that? I mean,
yeah, that's what's hilarious is they lost the quarterback, realized, oh, we give them the offensive line now.
Yeah.
Which what the Texans are doing right now. Oh, Jesus. So the Texans are out there on my frustration level.
oh, I know. And then now Joe Mixon, who the fuck knows how long he's out for? It's either 4 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Because everybody wants to be moved. Yeah. So then you got Nick Chubb, which 3 years ago Nick Chubb was great. Current day Nick Chubb is.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible that he's come back from that injury, but from what everybody said is he's slow and can't move.
Yeah, it kind of looked that way when he came back.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Like, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Oh, you just need an off season.
Yeah.
I resemble those
good. Yeah. It's too bad because I love Nick Chubb.
Again, the only bright spot in that fucking team, too. Joe Thomas goes away, Nick Chubb comes in. It's like, okay. Yeah. At least root for it up there because you don't want to root for Deshaun Watson and his massage hands. So,
that's.
Speaking of Deshaun Watson and that precious. A dumpster player.
So I've already said the Ravens are at my top.
I can't imagine who's second. Who's
I
going
want
to
to
be
say
third?
the Steelers are second, but I don't think so. I just
We'll
they
check
have
what's in
no
that one.
ceiling. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they have the high floor, but they just have their defense can't be that bad again. Okay, I mean, not all worldly bad again. Like, not good, but not horrible.
Getting Hendrickson signed too, that helps.
Yes.
That saga can be done.
And I think like Logan Wilson missed most of the year last year,
Yeah.
middle linebacker. So like they get some. They shouldn't be all worlds too. Now and then I'll do Steelers 3 just out of. My problem with the Steelers is
Aaron Rodgers.
their defense is always going to be solid.
Mhm.
But they have two physical but slow corners, Ramsey and Darius Slay, old slow corners. So they're going to have a problem with speed. So if Watt and Highsmith and company don't get there, I think they're going to have a problem back there.
Yep.
So the offensive line is okay. I think it's good enough to win.
Mhm.
But your running backs are, yeah. You know, Caleb Johnson, a lot of people like him coming out of Iowa. He did not show anything in the preseason. He did not look good. So it could just be an anomaly. And Warren is what he is. He's a part-time back.
Yeah.
But and then receiver from a quarterback who is everything is about timing.
Correct.
That'll be fun to watch.
I think we're going to see a lot of balls in the dirt. That's all I'm saying, or off the sideline. Like, I don't see a Jordy Nelson.
I don't see DK
Right, like
making
little
back
stuff.
shoulder
Yeah,
catches.
the detail stuff. That's not his game. So you know his favorite receiver is going to be like Calvin Austin or something.
Yeah.
Something stupid like when Alan Lazard was his favorite receiver. You know, just because he trusts him. Because it's like, hey, I know you're going to be here at 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. And they have 800 tight ends.
They do have a lot of those.
Which I love all their tight ends, but I don't know why you need that many unless you're going to do 3 tight end sets, which I'm all for, by the way. But DK out there, your 3 tight ends, maybe that would work. I don't know. But they got Jonnu Smith, paid him $11 million when you have Freiermuth, have Darnell Washington, who I still don't know why they don't use in the red zone more.
No.
I think we may have talked about that in another show, but very odd that they don't use them in the red zone. But yeah, I think they're going to be kind of they're never a mess because they do what they do, but their ceiling to me is the 9-8 at best. So I don't see them making the playoffs this year. So that's where I'm at with them. And then the Browns, Flacco will sling it. How long does he play is the question. The defense is actually not horrible. Now, Koromora is missing the whole season with a neck injury. I hope that's not career ending. But their defense isn't horrible. Their offensive line's not horrible. The Browns might be sneaky, not bad. Like not playoff team or anything, but not bad. What do you think? Or are they just going to be bad? I think they might be sneaky, not bad.
It's about every team. Quarterback play. You get Flacco from, 2 years ago when he did really well last half of the year, third of the year? Or do you get Flacco for the Colts last year when he just literally looked like Kerry Collins with was a Tennessee or whoever was at the end of the career, and you're just like, retire, please fucking retire. You got an arm, but it's basically just like the old cartoon, just throwing. Oh, there it goes. Wherever it went, throwing high, 5 yards over receiver, crossing routes. So again, safety sitting deep. That's pretty much playing 500. And that being said, again, Kenny Pickett traded. Who cares? That's irrelevant. Sorry, Ed. But it's like Dylan Gabriel. It's SNL from '83. These are not ready for primetime players. You throw him out there, it's going to be bad. Shadur, he's going to have his Velcro shoes on backwards, and it won't look good. I just, again, the hype train around him. Again, that sort of quelled a little bit after what the last game he played, and it was not good. And you could say, "Oh, he's injured." Are you injured or are you hurt? And you're going to make an excuse that you're injured. If Flacco comes out firing, can build a rapport with Judy, Njoku, and Tillman, okay. But he's got to be, I don't even want to see 70% because that's not a realistic. 58 to 62% for Flacco would be, okay, you're going to be in the game, and hopefully you're not firing away stupid passes, making the dumb mistake at the critical times,
Right.
and then just burying the team. It's like, oh, fuck. We came back, we're 24 to 10, it's 24-22 right now or whatever. Fuck. We could have been there, and he throws an interception. He throws it like just off the fingertips of like Njoku or somebody. It's like, be accurate.
You're battling the aggression versus stupidity line. That's basically what he's got to do is play that line just right, like he did 2 years ago.
Now to the worst division in football, the AFC least.
So Bills, and then that's about it. Now, the Bills, although, like I said, weakest team, I think, during this Josh Allen run since his first year or two. So, but they're still the best team in this division because the Patriots, like I said, are a year away. They're getting hyped up hardcore right now. They are favored, according to like Vegas odds, at 11 games this season. Okay, if they win 11 games, I might just quit talking football altogether. Okay, I'll never be on the show again if they win 11 games this season. All right. Yeah. Now their defense has improved. Vrabel will get into play in every week. They're absolutely better. But don't forget, Drake May still went 1-9 last season. Let's pump the brakes. Okay. Like they still got a lot of work to do because again, when you're building teams, you have no depth. So why their starters, you might be like, oh, I like this guy, this guy. Yeah, what's behind them? Somebody's going to get hurt. It gets really bad. It's what you played with last year. Okay. So it takes time. So Bills are still the favorite. You got the Jets, whose defense should be better. When Saleh got fired, it's like they quit. You know how a lot of times when a coach gets fired, that ramps them up. It was the exact opposite. That defense did not look anything like it had been. So I think we should see some increased production out of the defense. The offense is just going to be choppy. You know, you're going to get the wow plays from Fields. I actually think they could run the ball pretty well if they commit to it. That's just what they got to commit to is kind of read option type stuff, really. And make a one read for Fields, tell him to grip it and rip it. You know, back foot hits, throw it. Like, you know, I just don't have faith in the coaching staff that would be what they would do. But the Jets could be a feisty squad if, again, we don't know what Aaron Glenn will do. He is coming from the Dan Campbell tree now, so if you can get him to play like that, like I said, you can have a feisty squad on your hands. But I don't have faith that they're going to use the players the way they need to be used, like Baltimore has done with Lamar, over the years.
Mm-hmm.
They progressed more and more each year as he got better. But they weren't afraid to be like, hey, this is what he does well. This is what we're going to do. So, and then you got the Dolphins, who are the second best team still in that division. Even though I saw CBS Sports had us going 5-12, I was like, hey, I'm Mr. Negative, but 5-12? Holy crap! Really? Is no one playing? Am I starting Jack Wilson all year? Well, maybe I can see 5. But I actually think we should have a very, very, very good front seven. So if they aren't a fairly dominant front seven, I'm going to be very disappointed. That is the one thing we should have. Our secondary bad. So they better be dominant, or it's going to get ugly. It's going to look like the Bengals or Panthers in the secondary of last year, if they're not. But the front seven, it's deep, and it should be good. But they've never all been healthy at the same time ever.
No.
So right now, they're all healthy, supposedly. So we'll see.
Bubble wrap them till the weekend.
But I like the fact we are facing the Colts because, as you spoke, the Colts can push you around. So if we get pushed around, it shows me, no, we're not going to be the front seven. But if we hold our own there, then I'll know, okay, we got something to work with here. And on offense, there's just no depth. The starters are all there. It's still explosive. It's still good. The 5 starting linemen are okay. Good Lord, if any of them gets hurt. They're all non-NFL players. Again, how many years are we into this? You need more than 5. Okay, you need it 7 to 8.
Yep.
I don't get it. They don't value it. It's like, oh yeah, we drafted a starting guard. Well, I don't need to do more than that. But so somebody's going to get hurt, and then I got to play with like Liam Eichenberg or something again. And I'm not going to kill him.
It's your favorite.
Yeah, the least favorite player in the league right there. And the fact we re-signed him, still can't believe it. First day of the year right there. But honestly, I feel like they've got kind of the Cowboys treatment where everyone is down on them and like they can't play football anymore. So I'm like, I actually think they're still 9-9 win team at least. I don't see why they can't win 9 games. Again, this is all barring reasonable health.
Yeah.
Not quarterback missing 8 weeks, and I go 1-7. But
I know you're going to get some backup, but I know you get Skylar Thompson type people out there. You might as well.
Yeah, it's Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
I'd rather have Quinn Ewers, I think. At least I feel like I'd have hope. Maybe this guy could be good.
Yeah. I know he won't lose the game in the first snap.
But Tyreek Hill has supposedly been on his best behavior here the last few weeks. That's good. And if he wants another contract, he's got to be on his best behavior. So we got that working for us.
He needs to hire better lawyers because his divorce settlement was bad.
For 17 months? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. Like, holy crap. It wasn't 17 years. It was 17 months.
Yeah, that was ouch.
Yeah. But we still got 3-4 good receivers. Achan's amazing. I like the Ollie Gordon kid we drafted. He just runs downhill. We need that. But we're horrible in short yardage. We have no secondary, and we have no depth outside of the front seven. So we're not contenders, but good Lord, we're not a 5-12 squad.
No.
If I see that again, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay. We're not embarrassing. We're in the worst place you can be, right in the middle. Okay. We can beat anyone any given week, but we
can get beaten.
Yeah, we can also lose by 40 to the Bills. So,
Yeah, hopefully Washington doesn't hang a 70 on you again or whatever it was.
right. Baltimore usually always kicks our ass, and then Buffalo, especially in Buffalo, always kicks our butt. It's just like a. And we play both this year, so that should be fun. But yeah, I think they should still have entertaining moments and be kind of fun and be fake good for a while, and then don't be surprised if we're 5-2 and not actually that good. But we end up 9-8, but we start with 5-2.
Prediction on first coach to get canned.
See, Mike McDaniel's seat's the hottest, but I think he gets off to a decent start, so he's safe. Does Kyle Shanahan keep getting passes? What if they start 2-5?
I think you can build in again. Logical, illogical. Brandon Ayuk's out.
Yes, that's
I
true.
think
You don't have your number one, so it's like, well, you're rolling out there with Pearsall and Jawan Jennings, who I think's a little banged up too. But it's like, okay, you don't
he
have
wants a lot of money. I think Shanahan's safe as long as Lynch is still the GM. If Lynch survives, Shanahan will survive.
Yeah, I think they're two reasonably close off of success. So they know what if they blow it up, it isn't like a guarantee rebuild. Oh, we're going back again. For them, it usually seems to be a few more years than the normal teams. So they're just like, okay, well, we can maybe gut out a couple stinkers of years in our a 7-10, an 8-9. This isn't what we want, but we're not bottoming out. We're still seeing, like you said earlier, some of these other teams. Maybe not the 49er way or whatever. But you show signs of life. Okay, there's this guy got hurt here. This guy got hurt here. 3 plays here. We can say, well, fuck it. If those 3 plays, we have 3 more wins specifically to the record. But it's like I think Shanahan's safe because who are you going to go out there and get? That's the thing too.
It's the fear of I can fire this guy.
It's not like Ben Johnson. Like Ben Johnson's not out there this year. He's gone. So that's not the we could lure him away. It's like he's gone. So there's no super hot offensive coordinator. No, again that I know of or I can think of.
So you mentioned Dayball earlier. I think he's on the list.
That would be
from the Browns is the only other one I can think of that. Again, if it's a disaster, embarrassing, he's gone. The rest of the guys are pretty new or pretty established. So I'm thinking Stefanski, Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll are probably the 3 favorites. If anyone was to get fired, I don't think I'm.
I was going to say we'd have to check and see on a coaching staff if there's somebody of a legit guy that's okay. He's put the time in, rejuvenating his career after maybe an early.
The reason why the Dolphins would be a good squad is because a lot of people want that defensive coordinator to be the head coach. A lot of people think he will be a head coach. So that would be an interesting if you started 0-3 type thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
That he may get the interim job and see what happens, So I think McDaniel is the betting favorite, if I recall.
He should have never been a head coach in the first place.
No, he's just an offensive guy. Right.
He completely screwed Denver.
So, those are the 3 main names I can think of. Daboll, Stefanski, McDaniel.
Every time I see your coach, I think of B-Raw. Every time. McDaniel. It's all I ever see.
Yeah, it is funny. Yeah.
I look and I'm like, well, what's he doing, coach? He should be curating collections and showing off cards.
Yeah, he's best locked in a room. You draw stuff up for me, pal. You know, that's what he's best at. Because he does. He draws up some doozies. But
Yeah.
he also wants to call those doozies on 4th and 2. You know, so that's don't get me started.
Which again, that's great for Madden or Tecmo Bowl or whatever, or NFL Blitz.
And coaches around the league will tell you, he comes up with stuff that's like amazing. But you still have to know how to call a game and then
in the flow of the game, use that.
Boss and having everyone respect you is another problem.
Yeah. It's like, don't use one of those goofy plays, 4th and 8 at your own 32, and then you're like,
yeah, I don't need Alec Ingold throwing a pass. Okay, I mean,
yeah.
Fine.
Anything else, Steve? We went through divisions. Again, we're not going to pick winners and MVPs and all that shit. Because again, that's Vegas.
Well,
You want to do that? Go to Vegas, put the money on somebody else.
Right.
Or go on one of the 3,000 sports apps that the NFL says if you got a gambling addiction.
Right.
Yeah, don't worry. It's our fault, but
Yeah.
No, we did our Super Bowl picks.
yeah, I think we crammed that into a nice 2-hour window-ish. Yeah,
Yep.
2 hours. Yeah, that was pretty good.
And since we decided not to renew our subscription, like we have to pay more attention to how long we do these things. Because it only gives you X amount of time per month.
I can't believe they doubled the price.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, I love you guys, but even splitting that 3 ways,
No. Yeah, you go from what, 2 whatever to 4 whatever.
Oh, yeah, it's just stupid.
And nothing is. You're not getting that value.
No, and that's the thing. Like, granted, there's a lot of things that we didn't leverage and take advantage of and use, partially because I didn't want to put forth the time and effort to figure out how to use them. But again, you know, to double the price and not really add any value to what we leverage this for, not worth it.
No.
It's just not worth it. They at least fixed it to where like we're not all next to each other.
All on
when we first started. So that's at least they implemented that as a permanent way. Now we're more affixed to the screen. We're not smaller and there's more like black around the whole.
Yeah.
But like this way, I think it's actually better if you ask me.
I can say from my angle, I didn't notice anything that was like, it wasn't good.
Other again, like the logo, and I just checked, Dave. The only way we actually get rid of StreamYard logo is if we actually do go back to and pay for a subscription. But you know, again, it's as long as we can use it for what we want to use it, I think we're still good.
Getting in the YouTube Hall of Fame.
But again, I it's been a while since we've had streams that go excessively long, so we typically still fall way under the cap for the month anyways. But we are going to have to start paying more attention to that just to play it safe.
What, you get 10 hours a month or?
Yeah, something like that. So I would hate for us to be in the middle of a stream and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're past your time. And it's like, it didn't do that before, even though we pushed those limits way back when, but
it's their version of the Oscars music.
Right.
Get off the stage.
But I'm sure also too things have been changed since our first whatever 50 episodes amongst StreamYard and
Very
their
true.
rules, regulations, whatever. So
Very true. But so far,
what
right,
it is.
we were like when we talked in after hours, we were all concerned. It's like, hey, I'm going to cancel this. We'll just have to see what happens. I'm just glad it didn't go back to the old original format because that was a little brutal. But that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think this is the first time since we've done this to where we actually had it pretty well compacted into a nice round number, so to speak.
That's thanks to the two guys up top.
Absolutely. Had nothing to do with me or you, that's for sure.
Nope.
It's better than most ESPN shows. I can honestly say that.
Well, I sent the link to one of my neighbors here. I was like, normally I wouldn't do this, but you and your son. Well, I'm trying to get them into collecting, father and son, collecting for the right reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's a Chiefs fan.
Downtowns and kaboom, downtown.
No. He's a Chiefs fan, which it's not like I don't have friends that are Chiefs fans, but
Well, you shouldn't.
we're friends.
Yes.
Wow, thanks, Dave. But no, it's like you like football, you enjoy the sport. I'm like, this is probably a show that you may want to tune into because I was like, the guy we have on is so super knowledgeable when it comes to the NFL. It's freaking nuts.
And then Brad came on tonight too, so
Mm-hmm.
That's who I was referring to, Dave. Wasn't referring to you.
I know you.
But we may end up going to the Dallas Card Show this weekend. May not. I don't know. At least take him. I was like, Dad needs to go and experience it first
Downtown.
before he takes his 12-year-old son to go experience the madness. Because he needs to know what to expect.
I was gonna say get the not the lay of the land per se, but this is like sort of what you want to get into. This is going to be sort of the norm of anything with some name brand like hype behind it. You go from this again, whatever else you got around there, like the TriStar Festival down like a Houston, and then the
I
National.
think it still is. Yep.
So I mean,
Well,
those are going to be your things around that. So.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like it'll be a good experience for you. You know about card collecting, but you saw how intrigued your son was because, like, I gave him a blaster box to select.
That's a good one to give.
And the reason I did that is because, like, his dad mentioned he's a Chiefs fan. Do what?
Content?
No, not content. Nope. But mentioned he was a Chiefs fan, so I went through like my base and like pulled out Optic and what was the other one I pulled out?
Pops Total?
No. But pulled out some of the Chiefs and I was like, hey man, here. He's like, oh, these are cool. And he hands it. I was like, no, dude, those are yours. I'm like, they're base cards. Like, and he showed them to his son, and his son was like really intrigued and everything. So it's like, okay, let's see how this will go. So I gave him a blaster box. He opened it. organized them by teams and like was having conversations with his dad and, hey dad, can we get some pages and a binder to like start doing? And I was like, okay, so what did I do? Came back, got some pages, got a binder, got some penny sleeves, some top loaders, and I was like, here. This is a good place to start.
I need some team bags.
Actually, I think I'm running low on those, Michael.
Me too. I've got like 6 or 10 mags floating around in my case over here. They're in there naked.
Hey, if you guys were sponsored by the penny sleever, we wouldn't have this problem.
Well, and I don't do perfect fit ones either, so they kind of.
Yeah, perfect fit don't work for me because I like taking my cards out.
That's the problem.
Too
Once
much?
you do it once, it's like, yeah, I noticed that.
Yep. They
I
don't
don't
hold up opening a bunch of times. And then if you get that card out of it, and then you can't get it to go back in.
Oh no. Yeah, I noticed that when somebody sent me one like it, and I'm like, well, these are awesome if you never mess with it, like because it is
Might as
clear
well.
and you don't have any excess. But
You might as well have vacuum sealed them.
yeah, exactly.
Right. So yeah, his son's enjoying it. He's liking it. I told him, I was like, I'll teach you everything I know. So
5 minutes later.
yeah, I doubt that very seriously, Dave. If I could fit 40 years or I should say 40 plus years in 5 minutes, then I definitely shouldn't be claiming to know shit about cards.
Game Gear, Kaboom, Uptown,
Downtown,
PSA 10, Comps,
Prism Gold.
Wiggle Room. Is that the best you can do? I mean,
Any
I
meat
don't
on
know
the
why
boat?
comps has been triggered lately, and I don't
where
know
can we
why.
meet? Where can we meet at?
The whole having to look up every card thing. That's what's really starting to trigger me lately, and I don't know what it is. I think it's because I went to the National and didn't look up a thing and bought all my cards without ever looking anything up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you willing to pay for it? It may be a great deal. Like,
Exactly.
especially when you buy the crap all the time. Is what I don't get. I'm like, you just bought a Joe Burrow at the other table. Why are we looking it up again?
Yeah.
Like something similar. Like, you know what it sells for. Like, ugh. I don't know. I was starting to get triggered by that. That's what
Everybody's just afraid that they're going to pay $3 more than somebody else did.
Right.
Stupid.
And it's so dumb.
Yeah, if they're bitching about $3, then there's a bigger problem.
But that's the mentality of these kids.
No, I get it.
It's gotten so bad that the dealer even went the 4 tags I bought, the tags and stuff I bought. He's like, you didn't even look anything up. I was like, I don't need to.
Yeah.
Because I know what you got. It's
Yeah.
it's reasonable as it is, but I'm
Right.
still gonna try and get it cheaper. Yes, I know. 93. Pinnacle rookies. You're a dick.
And these are the
Oh, those are nice.
so Smart Me put 2 offers on, 2 got accepted. Going through the pile of shit. 2 weeks ago, I found I had this.
So now
So
you have 3?
At some point, one of these will be going as a giveaway on the show. We can drum up some viewership and
Well, see, there you go. We even got some card content in there at the end. Oh, see, nice. That was not museum. What's the other one? Marquee.
marquee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, that card, that quick consigned, I did end up getting that from Ryan. He got with me like a day or 2 later. And his guy had it. His guy had it out in Vegas.
Okay.
So it was shipped to me, and Ryan sent me the tracking number and everything, and then I saw it got dropped off in Vegas. I'm like, what the hell happened? Yeah, his guy was out in Vegas. But
Yeah, I saw that one on Instagram. I'm glad you were able to snag that, Michael.
Me too. And I just told it whenever he got it, he goes, "Here's what the last two sold for." I go, "Just tell me what you want."
Yeah.
I said, "You tell me what you want, and then I'm just going to send you the money."
Yeah, I'm either going to send you money or tell you no. Like, what's like?
Well, it wasn't even going to be a situation.
But
I
yeah,
knew he wasn't going to ask.
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't going to ask more than what those sold for.
like I
Because
said,
here's what these two
that's
sold
why I'm
for.
getting triggered lately. I've noticed that's been the thing.
Yeah.
It's not all the other stuff. It's the comps or the. Well, what do you want for? Or you go JT's at Triple Crown 24, who we love. He makes the best card show vids, because he gives you the thought process. But what drives me nuts, I'm coming up to your table. Here's the cards I have to sell. No problem. What do you want for it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I even left a comment. I'm like, this can't be real. I'm like, my mind is blown. I don't get it.
Yeah. Then the dealer goes, "How about 2,500? I can't do that." "Well, how much do you want?" "I was wanting about 63.
Yeah, just say that. Like, I don't.
So you knew what you want. You just didn't want
Exactly.
to tell me in case I would offer you more.
Right. Which 9 times out of 10, you're walking up to a dealer, you're not going to get more than what you were asking for.
Usually, no. No.
Very rarely would that happen. Like a 101, like I could see that. You have in your mind, okay, this caliber player, one like this, sold for $1,500 6 months ago. Okay, maybe it could be 2,000, and somebody offers you 2,500. Like I could see that happening.
Prime example. Dave just showed it. 2,000.
So.
Yeah, 101.
I touched that card.
Yes, you did.
Brad touched the other one, the first one.
Yeah, I love that story because he was so pissed that he missed it. I think he was at softball or something.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. That's so good. And he showed me the diamond card, and as he was showing it to me and talking to me about it, I was making offers. I had it bought before our conversation was over.
That's why he hates us all.
That's correct. That is an accurate statement.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Did Brad, because I know Michael said he'd watched, I'd sent that link. I said, just watch this.
Oh, yeah, the card show of it, yeah.
And again, I'm going to try to do that. It's not rage bait. It's not the hate watching. For me, I hate to say this, but I'm watching more of that just to see what's out there and just to see what else people are like putting prices on.
Right.
Stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's not a bad price. That's not a bad price. Well, I wish I was there because I would get that.
Yeah, there were 2 cards that I saw during that video that I was interested in, and the price was in the range of what I would think. There were 2.
Well, the one passing the torch Favre that I saw was what, like what was it? 125?
No, it was 200, but I'm almost 100% positive that was an IP auto.
Yeah, I didn't see like
the
signature was up on it. The stamp wasn't there.
Yeah, the signature is a real Favre signature. It is not the style of signature he was signing those with.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't in the first 150.
You could tell the dude liked Jordan Love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and anything.
Yeah, I read his bio. He was a Packer guy, I think.
Anything Packers, like he
was. Well, his name's Gold Zone Collector.
Yeah.
Gold Zone is Nathaniel Hackett's coinage.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw
that nameplate that was all autographed. I literally came up to the table at the National. A guy was selling it to the dealer when I came up to the table.
Really?
I said, "What else do you have in your box?" It was one thing I already had, and then it was like a dual jersey or something. He goes, "That was the best thing I had." He goes, It just took up a lot of space. He's like, because you want to display it, obviously. You don't want to just have it. You know.
Right.
The problem with that stuff, like I couldn't just buy the end. You would have to buy it, you know, and it's like I ain't spending that much money to buy it all, you know.
But seeing a couple those other Marinos too, I started seeing the 06 and the 07.
06 NT triple patch, right?
I'm just like, okay, I gotta send this to Brad, and I just watch it.
Yeah, that was the one I paused on. I was like, oh, I don't have
Yeah,
there was one showcase that had probably 50 or 60 old school like NT cards, and I was like, ooh, that's a cool one.
Yep.
That's a cool one. But there was, I was like, I scanned it real quick, and I was like, oh, none of mine.
Yeah. And then there's a Clay Flawless 1 of 1, and again, I don't know what
$1,500.
Yeah, it's also player worn,
and that's what I figured. I'm like, I don't remember ever seeing this card.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to buy that one a few different times, and I'm like, no, it's player worn, it's junk.
Well, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like this year's Immaculate had some cool Dolphin stuff in it. Tyreek Hill patch autos, Jalen Ramsey tag. I could just tell looking at them they weren't game worn. I'm like, you're ruining what would just be an amazing card.
Yeah.
And I don't even want it.
I saw the white sparkle TD downtown.
Yeah, I saw that 101. What was it, 35 or 4,500?
Yeah, which is stupid. Like nobody's gonna pay that.
Yeah.
Not when a black finite went for like $1,200. Granted, like I get it. It's a downtown, like it's the cool thing, but no.
It's still a promo pack card.
Exactly.
That's the other thing, the comps, and then to go with the comps when I'm hearing the back and forth banter. How much for them? I could do 2. I feel like 180. I'll give you 180. Would you go to 190? So $10 fucking. I mean, it and right there should tell you it's all about money. That's it. Money.
Yeah.
And then what case hits do you have downtown? Kaboom! That's all you see, and I'm like, how is this? How is a JJ McCarthy green like a $12,000 card? What world are we living in? He said it's fucked up.
Like I think the color bursts look better than them.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was my response to Dave when I watched that video. I said 2 things I learned watching this video. Case hits aren't rare when they make 75 million cases.
Correct.
And Kobe autos aren't rare because he signed everything for. I said he signed everything for Panini, which is why before his death you could pick up nice ones for $250.
Yep.
All day long.
And now those $250 cards are $3,000 plus.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make it's not a difficult auto to find.
No, it's that Panini. It's not NT. It's whatever, like the 1 or 2 below it, and you have all the stuff like 49 or 99. I'm like,
yeah, because he was in it.
150 every time.
Yep.
Yeah, for that 3-4 year period, he was in there. He was basically the case hit in everything.
Correct.
Almost.
Yeah. Yep.
So you would hit
bought a product
one at least every 2 cases. You know.
Yep. You were going to get a Kobe on card auto out of your case.
Yeah. Yep. One of those where death saved his value. You know, sick as that is, it's true.
It's crazy that it hasn't slowed down.
Yeah, like I would understand like the logo mans and stuff like that.
But how many of those did you see in those showcases? I didn't see any downtown duels.
I saw a Jaden and McLaurin sold a couple times. I don't know if the 101. Again, I've really watched far too much of it because I just want to see what, because there's been a lot of stuff too where I've said there's a lot of shit that you gotta sift through. It's almost like a fucking value box. You gotta sift through all these stupid ass deals, and then you see one with like I don't know who the fuck. I think it was my buddy Home Ec Clothes. You got like an 01 Bowman's Best Pujols rookie to like $24.99 or whatever they were, and then a refractor, a Heritage Black Griffey, I think with the Sox. So I'm guessing like the 09 or 2010, like 60 or 61 in a deal, and I'm like, okay, it's like that stuff. I like seeing that. I don't need to see every fucking stupid zebra skin, foreskin, whatever fucking demo Panini fucking parallel. And again, if your neighbor, buddy, and his son are watching, I apologize. I rarely talk like this.
Probably not this late. He may be, he may still be watching, but his son probably isn't.
But it's like I don't need to.
But Dave, on the flip side, like some of this stuff, like they need to hear anyways, though, too, because like,
I get that. I'm not doing all my fuck cunt shit, fuck sucker, all this stuff. But yeah, it's like you don't need to see the same as like a Harrison Jr. I don't know what the fuck it was.
Dragon scale, snakeskin,
something with the orange. I don't know which one's which. But like 235, 250. I'm like, really? Like, I know I can spend that money a hell of a lot better than on that. An unnumbered fucking SSP. I'll go back 10 years for like the top stuff and try to find like the SSPs that were insanely tough to find.
Oh, like the mirror image or the
photo variation.
Photo variation. Yeah. Thank you. I was drawing a blank on the damn term.
I got you.
Like even I like the Gatorade Soto. That's one I'd love to get one day too, just because it's a cool fucking deal. Or the one year they had those as the photo variations, or the pie face, stuff like that, where people are just completely flushed of like that information because downtown, uptown, color class,
pinwheel. Actually were short prints because you would look on eBay and you would see like a small handful.
I was going to say, too, the sparkles. Josh Johnson's got the sparkle off the belt. I had a Brandon Phillips one. Stuff like that where unless you actually looked at the fucking card, you didn't have a clue. There was no gold foil in the back, SSP.
Yeah, they had to dumb it down. They had to dumb it down for the new collectors. They had to say what it was on the back, and the card had to be backwards in the pack.
Yep.
And I do like, too, where it has on there, the only defining thing was that little number on the bottom.
The serial number.
Barcode type serial thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. It's just
product code.
Yeah. You looked at that and you're like, okay, I'll look through all my ones. And then that started get you to do that. So instead of, again, making it blatantly obvious for everybody, and that's an SSP? Well, yeah, you're jumping through a hoop and a fucking tutu. It's like, I hope that's not a normal football picture.
Yeah, but if you're an eBay seller, dude, they're SSSPs.
Well, yeah, that's people need to be kicked in the head.
You do realize that, like that's a thing, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
they exist.
Well, when you and your buddy go to that Dallas card show, I hope you bring that up to the dealers. I was trying to put with something like that. I haven't seen this Lamar and Mark in any Card Collector 2 videos at all. It's got to be an SSSSSSP.
All right, Dave, wrap us up before we go down a rabbit hole.
We can do that for the episode. Thank you, Brad, of course, coming on.
Always fun.
Dealing with our bullshit and our fun. Sullying your good name for just at least one night. And I didn't see Brian in here tonight. I was shocked. Unless I missed him completely. It's usually Hodges is right away. Boom. I hit the video with the like and
yep, he wasn't here. He wasn't here this evening.
Brad on. I mean, I thought that was a guarantee. You do? So thank you, Brad. You probably got 6 months off. 8 months off until we get you back. Unless you come clamoring and ask. I mean, you got something to say, or
I'll just randomly pop in.
So you want to borrow Vinny's soapbox you can borrow it. Talk about comps and videos as you see fit. So.
Need a good rant video. Maybe I should do that.
And yes, JT does well. I saw him. That's what I was watching before I came on, and I like how he's got his paper there. I know he's got the cross docking with eBay too, so he's got to sort of delete list as he sells stuff. But I like. Now he might not be the most entertaining and verbally exciting person to listen to, but his thought process and the way he carries out his plan, I like that.
Yes.
JT, I know you're watching. Much love.
Maybe when he's bored, he'll watch it.
Oh no, you wouldn't. JT, comment down below, hit the like button, and
I will
hit
say
the
you
ring.
will be surprised sometimes who watches.
JT does watch.
Texts sometimes or messages from people you would probably be surprised. Of something I said on the episode or something.
JT has watched when he was sometimes when he's sorting or sleeve and stuff. Like, no, he's said it like in conversation. Like, I've had conversations on Instagram. Hey, by the way, great show last night. I was had it on in the background while I was doing whatever. So you, as Brad said, no, you would be surprised. You would be surprised.
I know I would. I'd be shocked.
Oh, and just
why don't we get more votes for the Hall of Fame? God damn it!
We got our first thumbs down.
You listen to us, vote for us for the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame.
See, there you go.
We got our first thumbs down on our last episode in forever.
You're welcome.
Oh, was that you?
No, but I figure it was something I said or did.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Remember, it all counts the same.
Well, it was the Ryan show. Not quite sure, but yeah, first thumbs down on a show, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Huh.
Not that.
Good.
Not that.
Keep them coming, assholes.
Hey, it still works with the algorithm, no matter which way it
I was
goes.
to say, thumbs up, thumbs down. You're engaging. So.
All right.
So until next week, somewhere, Michael. I can't do this. There we go. Michael, Brad, that's Steve. I'm Dave. IRP 244 in the books. Remember, collecting cards, it's a wonderful hobby. Wasting a dealer's time with comps. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.